So welcome everybody. Today's subject is boost your LinkedIn, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to attract and engage with the right audience. So it's very much all about looking at your profile. This is the LinkedIn Lead Generation Masterclass. It's part of a 13-week program. We've condensed the last quarter to just 10 weeks so I can have a bit of time off around Christmas. This is week 2. If you missed week 1, we looked at kind of free techniques to generate leads, LinkedIn searches, all that sort of stuff. Do check back in the school community where you can watch back those replays. So today's focus, we're going to look at why LinkedIn. We're looking at how we can add some spice to your profile and really ramp it up so people start seeing you. We're going to also step into using ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, to help you to craft headlines and craft your profile to make it even more compelling. And we'll also look at the about section. The session is about 45 minutes. Normally it's me talking for about half an hour, and then we'll have some open Q&A time, 15 minutes at the end. So just to meet your expectations. Quick introduction. So as I say, my name's Alex Smith. I'm the founder, owner, whatever you want to call me, of Leadith. Leadith is a solution whereby we help people to generate more sales through social selling, especially on LinkedIn. I've worked in various businesses to develop effective strategies in terms of generating leads, building connections on LinkedIn. And today, just excited to share some of my top tips around, what we've done with individuals' profiles to kind of help them get more exposure with LinkedIn. So hopefully this will be really helpful for you. In terms of where this sits in the whole kind of marketing funnel, obviously the profile is key because everyone sees that profile. And that's the first bit of thing that they might see of you. So it's all about generating awareness. Okay. But we can also start to think about a content strategy, and that's all about creating that interest and driving people to this consider stage where they're thinking around, are you a good partner to be working with in the future? They purchase your services or solution, and then you retain them as a client. So just super quick overview of this, because I'm mindful we've got so much to go over. The flywheel effect, this is the modern marketing kind of methodology whereby we attract, we engage with those clients, they interact with you, we're building those relationships. We delight them, and they become advocates for us, and that in turn attracts more people into the whole process. So last week we looked at stage 1. Stage 1 was a little bit about target audience, identifying where we can find them on LinkedIn. We did a couple of searches. I remember with Bridie, we were thinking around femtech, wasn't it? So yeah, all that exciting stuff. Stage 2 of this roadmap is to look at your personal LinkedIn profile, just to make sure it's primed, ready to go, and speaking directly to that target audience. If there's misalignment here and the target audience come across your profile and they think, hang on, this person's talking about a completely different business or a completely different venture, it's going to cause confusion. And we just want them to know exactly what you're about. And having that on your profile in a very clear manner will help smooth the whole process to get them to the next step. Stage 3, next week we will be looking at LinkedIn outreach automation, some of the strategies that we can use to start connecting with people, and that's quite an exciting piece. If you've got a proven system that you do manually, we just look to automate it basically, and it's a numbers game, this, very much so. Email outreach, stage 4, the natural follow-up to a LinkedIn outreach campaign is a warm email, so we can make that whole process as well. Video content marketing, obviously an outreach strategy is great, but having a content strategy around what you're doing on LinkedIn really helps. So whether that's just one post a week that you can put out there, or one post daily, that's really going to help you in terms of visibility, being seen as a kind of thought leader in your space. And step 6 is all about appointment setting. So having a system to capture those leads, drive them into a form or whatever that is, but making sure all those leads are nurtured and follow-ups take place automatically. There's nothing worse than starting to connect with lots of people, but then just not doing anything with those connections. So making sure that there's a system in place to kind of follow up and nurture all of those guys. I'm just going to switch screens because this forms as some reason I haven't converted the presentation over to my my newer format slides. So if you see the old logo, that's why. But today's focus is all about kind of boosting your LinkedIn presence. So I'm going to just blast through this presentation today, and hopefully it will give you some quick wins, some key tips that you can improve and implement on your profile. So two main takeaways from the masterclass today. Number one, why you should look at LinkedIn as your new channel of communication between you and your leads. That's one of the things we're going to look at. And secondly, we're going to look at how you can optimize your profile and get it ready for lead generation. So some people skip this stage, and you're doing a lot of outreach activity and automation, but you're missing out on a lot of opportunities if you don't get this bit right. So it's important to get this right. In a bit more detail, what we're looking at today is profile pictures, how to present those profile pictures, how to let your creativity loose when writing that profile summary. We're also going to look at some of the things that you can do to gain an all-star profile. So LinkedIn call it an all-star profile. It just means completing as many of the boxes as possible, and hopefully you'll learn a lot more. So a bit of background in terms of LinkedIn. Primarily, LinkedIn is a profile, and it can be used in lots of different ways, whether it's you're looking for a new job or generating leads for your business. Where Leadeth comes in, Leadeth is actually a sales engagement platform which we connect to your personal LinkedIn profile, and that then automates the process of connecting with people. And no matter how much you dislike the sales process, or you're not proactive in terms of putting yourself out there, it kind of takes a lot of that burden off you, because we have template messages that can go back to people, and it just basically saves you a lot of time. So when I started Leadeth back in 2019, my main focus was LinkedIn in terms of outreach, using it as an outreach tool. But since then, I've kind of grown. I've created newsletter. I'm putting content out there, doing a bit more with it. Have I used it to apply for jobs in the past? Probably, yeah. I think I had a 6-month contract with a UK based charity, and Christian, I've got a bit of audio coming from you, so you might want to.
Sorry, I'll turn my mic off. Do apologise.
Noisy office. That's all right. Yeah. So LinkedIn it's a powerful tool, and if you're not kind of starting to use it as a kind of money making machine or a lead generation machine, it's time to start that. Just gonna let Tony into the room as well. So what is LinkedIn? Why is it important? Well, LinkedIn is very important. It sits at a whopping 930 million users, and that's spread across 200 countries. If you look at the demographics, 42.8% of the audience is female, and 57.7% of the audience is male. So think about that, because obviously I know kind of Bridie was talking about it last week. Your audience is pretty much female, so obviously your opportunity is a little bit slimmer on LinkedIn, but certainly if it's a B2B market that you're after, and business people is the people you want to be connecting with, it might be a good place. So LinkedIn started, it actually celebrates 20 years. I'm just going to skip on to the next slide. 20 years back in March this year, and it was created purely just to host your CV online. That's kind of what it was created for. The two big decisions that changed LinkedIn going forward. Number one was in 2008. 2006, LinkedIn released a public profile feature. So that's when it all went public. You could, everyone could see your profile. That was a game changer for them. And then back in 2008, they also had this next big thing, which was to go global. So that's when they released it into other countries. So how do we know LinkedIn is right for us? Well, we know it's right because certainly it's a B2B platform is where we're looking in terms of what we're talking about today. So if you're B2B, it's definitely the most active platform for you. So LinkedIn, originally created as a CV, since for people to put their CVs out there, share industry and grow your networks. That essence still runs runs on with LinkedIn today. So what you can do with it these days, see it as a connection tool. We can connect with the world. If your business is digital or online, it unlocks everything you're doing, not just keeping up with friends, classmates, and colleagues, but keeping in touch with potential strategic partners, suppliers, all those sort of people, all those stakeholders in your business. It's a great tool for that. I use the tool as a lead generation tool. So for me, it actually generates new clients. So with a network of a couple of thousand, you basically can reach anyone else. If you have a look at degrees of connection, which we'll pick up on shortly, you'll see how quickly you can start to grow and connect with anyone else you want to connect with, really. Number 3, it's also great for building up your personal brand. So if you're looking to share your expertise with others, become a bit of a thought leader in a specific industry space, it gives you a really good platform to do that as well. But the most important thing, which I kind of emphasize to people, is that you need to build up your network really quickly. Now, LinkedIn is giving you an opportunity to kind of do that at a rate of about 100 connections per week. If you're not doing that at the moment, you're kind of losing out, because potentially that's your audience base, that first degree network. All my clients previously have always been out of that first degree network. It's very rarely you get a second degree connection who will come to you and start doing business with you. No, like, and trust. You've got to build up that relationship before someone will use you. So the most important thing that we emphasize is these connections, and LinkedIn has these different degrees of connections that they're called. So we have the green circle, which is your first degree connection. Then you have the yellow circle, that's kind of like your second degree connections, and then right on the outside you've got this third degree. So first degree are the people in your network already connected to you, so you can direct message them, which is fantastic. And then the second degree, you've got people who are connected to somebody so somebody in the first degree will be connected to them already, so they're very, very easy to then connect with, those second degree people. The third degrees, they're a bit harder to connect to because you don't really have anyone mutual between yourselves, so really hard to tap into that third degree market. You can do it still. I mean, if it's super relevant, your messaging is relevant, you still can tap into the third degrees, but always try to focus on building the second degree and then the third degree. So obviously having that mutual connection, that's going to bridge the gap between you and the next person. So it's really important to kind of keep growing this network, because that will help you to tap into more people down the line. The person that you have in common can be used to introduce you to another person as well. That's a really good strategy. If you know the exact target who you want to be targeting in the exact business, you can go to that second degree connection or the first degree person in your first degree network and say, hey, would it be okay if you give us an introduction to this person in my network? And hopefully they can reciprocate. So if they need someone in your network and they want you to kind of lead by an introduction, so that sort of mutual introducing can really help as well. Now, basic version of LinkedIn, we tapped into it last week. There's basically 15 filters that you can use to search and connect with those people. And then if you've got Sales Navigator, that unlocks a whole load of extra filters that you can use to further drive more connections. So we're going to look at the profile now in quite a bit of detail. Firstly, let's go over why it's important. So the profile picture is probably the single most important thing on your profile. In fact, it's any social media platform, LinkedIn, whatever you are, Facebook, this picture is the representation of you. So we're going to just see how this is played out, and how other people are using their profile pictures. So make sure you get a clear view of your face. And this is key because they want to know, people are buying from people here. They want to know who they're getting to know and who they're getting in contact with. So keep it really super simple. It's always a good idea to have a nice, clear and concise image. Make sure that it's not blurry. A professional image works wonders. Think about adding a bit more life to your profile. So you might want to do something a bit quirky, put a fist pump up or something else a bit quirky. So if you're in a slightly different environment where that's acceptable, you can use that. So it doesn't have to be the suited and booted, formal headshot, but so use creativity in that profile photo if you can. Also followed by the headshot profile. We're just going to go back. I'm going to show you a couple of tools that I use personally to analyze headshots. So if we go to just a Google Chrome tab, hopefully you guys can see this here. And we're just going to head over to a new tab. And in here, if you do a Google search, I'll actually share a link with this in the chat and in the search. But it's called Photo Feeler. Okay, unbiased photo feedback for business social media. So the way this works is if I just log into the platform quickly with log in with LinkedIn, it pulls off your LinkedIn profile from your LinkedIn page. And what it allows you to do is it allows other people to vote on kind of how your photo is looking. So I'll just show you a couple of tests that I've done previously. So previously, my very first LinkedIn photo years and years ago, I put it out there. It received 107 votes. And you can actually go into that photo and people vote on how competent you look, how likable you appear. And they also, there's an influential score as well. So it tells you how you're ranking against others. Interestingly, they can also add notes as well on that. So you can see what people say about you. So moving to a professional headshot. So this is where I got a professional photographer at a conference to then take a photo of me. Well, I was noticing the scores are just rapidly kind of really ramped up. So same 107 votes, so the same number of votes. So it's a fair test. And I was seeing competency had gone up from 8.3 to 9.2. Likeable went up from 8.9 to from 6.9 to 8.9, so that really went up loads. And then influential went up from 8.1 right the way up to 9.7. So a huge impact. It's funny because I'm actually wearing the same suit as my selfie own headshot, but the professional headshot photographer, they know what they're doing. They've put a slight angle on. They know how to get the best out of your images. So Photo Feeler, a great tool for just analyzing your LinkedIn photo in a bit of detail and seeing how you might be able to improve it. Some of the feedback that you might get back is things about like how the image is actually cropped and stuff like that. And that will go on to my second tool that I kind of recommend to people. So if you search for, just do a Google search again and you'll find it. This one's called Snapper, SNAPPR, LinkedIn photo. So if you just Google Snapper LinkedIn photo, it'll come up here, Snapper Photo Analyzer. And this basically uses a bit of AI technology in the background. Basically, you go to connect your LinkedIn account like that, so it can pull off your LinkedIn photo. Super quick, super easy to do. All these tools are absolutely free. They won't cost you a penny. And off it goes. It starts to pull off the LinkedIn photo from your LinkedIn profile. So this is my current LinkedIn profile. I know I've got a very busy background. It analyzes your facial expressions, all that sort of stuff, and then gives you a score out of 100. Okay. And then if you go to the full analysis, it actually starts to talk to you. You know, it tells you about the smile and how to kind of present that smile. Talks about the corners of your mouth are raised, which is what it likes. Apparently I've got a bad jawline. That's okay. But yes, to do with the shadows and things, you've got to have a really defined jaw, and that helps. The squinch, how you squint your eyes and things like that, that has an impact as well. Moving down, we've got the composition of the photo. Are you zoomed in a bit too tightly, or are you kind of too far zoomed out? Photographers have this rule of thirds, which is basically like a 3x3 grid. And ideally, you want your eye to end up on one of the corners, on one of the crosshairs on the grid, for excellent composition. So background, it really doesn't like my background because it just, it gets very confused by that. But in terms of the editing, it tells you, is the contrast right? Have you got enough light in the room on the photo? Sharpness, saturation, the color temperature, all that sort of stuff. So that's Snapper. It's a great little free analysis tool that you can use on your LinkedIn profile just to kind of help you. I thought I'd share that one with you. Was that useful, guys, at all? A couple of thumbs up. Great. Swinging back to our profile then, the next probably most important thing is having the header graphic. And here's an example. This is Mary Barra. CEO at General Motors Ford. So she's got a slogan there, our electric future is now. So it really speaks about what they're about, what they're up to at the moment. Nice, captivating image. So obviously that image is quite key. Have a look at this one. This is probably how not to do it. Heck of a lot of information going on here. So this is some kind of LinkedIn influencer. The problem here is when this profile is scaled down to a mobile phone, the headshot photo will grow, and that will take over probably the first third, certainly, of that header banner. And a lot of people forget that and neglect that. So when you're actually on a mobile, this will appear really small. It will just be unreadable on a mobile. So make sure the text is large and clear. If you're going to put any text, that really helps. And try to do it all on the right-hand side, because obviously from mobiles, that photo will grow bigger, and then suddenly the text will be missing. So just make sure you don't fall into the trap of overdoing it with too many logos and just keeping it too busy. So keep it simple. Use that space to kind of showcase what it is you do. Another thing to remember is you can actually go into LinkedIn and customize your profile URL. So this is a little option when you go to edit your profile, and you can actually change the URL of your profile to make it really short and super memorable. By default, it will be your name, your last name, with about 10 different digits after it. And you just won't remember it. So really good for SEO. If you want to have a shortened link, try and get something unique, shorter and quirky, a bit like a domain name, really. And that really helps. So that's edit your custom URL. You'll see it at the top of your profile when you click edit your profile settings. The next thing we're looking at is these eye-catching headlines. To think about the headline, think of it as a brief introduction to who you are on LinkedIn and who you are in general. I tend to get AI to generate these really effectively. So we can do an example. If anyone wants me to have a dry run of creating them a headline, I'll be happy to do one interactively. So these are the different stages that we use to create those. Number one, why is it important? It serves to attract people to your profile. So it's going to be seen. They'll see your profile image, and then they'll see this headline probably next as the kind of main important bit of information. Secondly, it's going to help them to understand the basics about you, hopefully. So it will keep them interested in what your business is about, or how you might be able to help them. So a couple of things that you need to know about the headline in terms of how it's constructed. It's the little bit of text located right underneath your profile picture. So it's very prominent. So whenever anyone messages you, the first kind of 3 or 4 words of that headline are often seen first. It's also displayed next to your name. So whenever somebody's doing a search, that's the thing that's going to come up next to your name. So people will see that. So it's quite important. And obviously, if people are doing LinkedIn searches, if you've got CEO at such and such company, you're only going to be found if they're doing CEO searches or the company name. Whereas if you've got, a specific thing that you're involved with, say it's, for my example, is lead generation. If somebody searches for lead generation and I include that in the headline, then my profile is going to be up there with others that might have also adopted that technique. It is limited to 220 characters, so just be mindful of that, so that it will tell you how many characters it is when you write it. Once again, make sure it's relevant with super duper keywords, just to make you more findable in those searches. Some people use emojis as well, so you can use little emojis. If you've got any industry relevant emojis that are going to help you to get stand out, then use those as well. 2 ways you can go about creating your headline. As I say, you can also use ChatGPT or AI to start to kind of create these little quirky things for you. You can actually download a profile of your LinkedIn summary as a PDF. You can feed that information into ChatGPT or copy and paste it. and then get that to create it based on what it's just learned about your profile. So there's a couple of techniques, and we can try them with anyone that wants to give that a go. But firstly, imagine that you're talking to someone else. You want to let them know what you're about in 2 simple sentences. That's the kind of the essence of this. It's like that, a 30-second elevator pitch, getting those keywords right. Secondly, think of it as a sign. So you're holding a big sign up, trying to sell yourself to someone else. So it's got to be something catchy, something that's going to be seen really well. Now, in the past, we used to use this XYZ formula quite effectively. The XYZ basically uses 3 variables. If you know algebra and maths, we're basically using a different thing, X, Y, and a Z. X is your ideal prospect. Okay. And Y is going to be the outcome that you can then provide. Okay. So think about, be results focused. What is it that you help people with? And then Z is the service or product that you can offer that's going to help them reach this ideal outcome. So a couple of examples in terms of how you can apply this to your profile. The I help X do Y by Z. So I turn overworked executives into successful business owners. Okay. So we're shouting out into, it's reaching out we've got the who is there, overworked executives. The outcome is successful business owners. They've also gone for a couple of kind of transitional emojis there. DM me to learn how, call to action. Follow for daily content, another call to action. Mentor to millionaires. Okay, so obviously showcases a bit of their experience if they're working with these millionaires. She's also got on her profile this one here, which is #transition_queen. So that's obviously something that she's adopted and using. Another example, you do Z to help X do Y. So this one's a bit wordy, quite a technical one here, enabling enterprise companies to optimize business results through digital experimentation and personalization. Not too sure what that's all about, really. There's a lot of long words in there, but it might mean something to someone. You can also do the mix and match approach. So this one's quite cool. This is obviously a recruitment based one. So I got 151 professionals into high earning tech jobs within a year. You're next. Short, snappy, to the point. It showcases the who, what they're doing, the time, the sense of time scale meets people's expectations there. So yeah, ultimately make sure you're providing some sort of value with that headline. So that's all about the headline. I want to dive into a bit of ChatGPT for a couple of minutes, just to show you guys how you can utilize ChatGPT to create a bit of a profile. Does anyone brave enough to share maybe their current LinkedIn profile with me, so I can maybe analyze it a little bit and put it through the ChatGPT, see what it suggests you should be doing? Maybe.
Yeah, I'll do it if you want.
Go on, Christian. Thank you. Great. So yeah, either share your LinkedIn profile URL in the chat so I can bring it up my side.
Let me just. I was editing it as you were talking, which is a bit naughty. Hang on a second.
No, that's all right. No, that's what these masterclasses are all about. I mean, if you can work away whilst I rattle on, that's great. Any improvements you make are going to be beneficial.
Whoops.
Let's think of it in terms of the XYZ formula that we just looked at, maybe. So
there you go. Hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Just bringing it up here. You happy for me to share this, Christian?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Of extra exposure. It's going live out on LinkedIn, and there we go. Great. So yeah, straight away. So personally, I don't take it as like super duper critical, but the headshot photo. Obviously, you've gone for quite a blue filter on that one.
Yeah.
Is that purely just to keep within brand, or
essentially? And it also covered up a multitude of sins.
Excellent. So certainly that photo feeler thing that I mentioned earlier, if you did put that one up and then put maybe more of a without the filters one on, be interesting for you to see how that people's perception, how that comes across in terms of that influence and seen as authority. Background image, great. Presumably this is your team JLL logo, is it, in the spotlight? Perfect. Yep, you've muted. So, but yeah, and then we've got delivering next gen tech and affordable.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
So so certainly in terms of that headline, it doesn't tell us who. If someone was to come across onto your profile, it doesn't say who your target audience is. So if you can speak to them, speak to that target audience. Let's just have a look at the XYZ formula again. So ChatGPT. I guess you've used ChatGPT. Have you used ChatGPT, Christian? Yep. So please, can you help me write a compelling LinkedIn headline for a profile? And then this is where we give it a bit more context. So we've got those variables, haven't we? Which are X is let me just move the screen out of the way, is your ideal prospect. So who is your ideal prospect? Just unmute yourself, Christian.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just getting to that. I've got a lot. It's quite chatty in the office this morning. Where are we now? So ideal, anyone that does events. We do TV broadcast events, expos, all that sort of stuff.
So your ideal customer, anyone who's working in the events field?
Anyone who does an event of any sort.
Yeah.
That can be anywhere from agencies, events, through to event managers in corporates and things like that.
Managers in corporates, organizations, and then you've got your why. So what's the outcome that you can provide them?
A number of things.
Okay.
Cost-effective event platforms, real sustainability, affordable prices. So there's quite a lot of things.
What's the main thing? Why do people come to you? What's the main thing, would you say?
To elevate events.
Elevate events. If you could put another word instead of elevate, what is the outcome? So do they just want to see better efficiencies at their events? Do you want to see more profitability, more numbers? What's the
best way of describing it? Above expectations. That doesn't really help you either, does it?
Yeah. What is it? What is the tangible result?
Better, more exciting, interesting events, basically. So if someone comes to us as an example,
in terms of the program, or
essentially we are specialists in tech. So instead of like an ordinary set, we'll usually, from a sustainability point of view, create a large digital set. So in other words, it has more impact. Impact is another good one.
Sustainable events. Sustainable events. Let's just give it a few of those keywords, right? So Z is the service or product that you offer that helps them achieve these events. So or product. So how do you achieve this?
AV on steroids is the best way to describe it. I know it sounds a weird thing to say, but
if I was organizing an event, are you managing all the tech and the?
Yeah, if you watch something, for instance, like any of the big BBC TV programs, so Beat the Chasers. What else have we got? Celebrity Juice. The Chase, Beat the Chasers. When you see that, you will see what we are capable of doing.
Yeah. So
it's all about exquisite lighting, lots of tech, sound, video, set building, all that sort of stuff.
So excellence in production.
Yeah, technical production. Yeah.
Technical production. Okay. Please use 220 characters and make it engaging, and use up to 2 emojis, something like that. I have to say,
I've used ChatGPT before, but never as precisely as you are.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
It's all about the prompts. Yeah. So you can actually, what I could do is give it your website. So I can actually feed it your website, so it learns who you are, what you're about, and then it generates this from it. But this is come up with basically transforming corporate events into unforgettable experiences, specialist in high tech and sustainable event production, AV on steroids. So it's actually, it's got that quirky bit there on the end, but that's just one example that it's come out with. And then obviously, if you wanted to tweak that, or say, can you generate 5 more for me, please? You could basically put a different one on each week. And if you've got a consistent approach in terms of connecting with people, you could actually start to track and see which approach is yielding the better acceptance rate in terms of people connecting with you on LinkedIn. So we've got elevating corporate events with cutting edge tech, sustainability, your go-to for exceptional AV solutions, sustainable event guru, transforming ordinary events into tech-powered masterpieces. So all this stuff, super simple. If you wanted to incorporate some sort of call to action in that, you could as well. Was that helpful at all, Christian? Or sorry, you're muted again. It's that classic thing on Zoom, isn't it?
Well, it's just that I'm trying to keep it off for the most part because of being in the office. Can you go to the very top again? Because the most important thing for me is how to search it. It's the prompts. Yeah. So
sure. So I'll copy the prompt in there and paste it in the chat for you, so you've got it.
Great,
so you can have a play with that yourself. But it's just get thinking about that, and that hopefully will help you to stand out a little bit more. With
absolutely, 100%. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. So just going to swing back to my other presentation. Bear with me. Screen share. Sorry, it's a bit flicking about everywhere.
Just while you're flipping over, can I ask you said something about linking in the website. And can you just spend a few seconds just telling us how you do that?
Yeah, certainly. So let me just show you on my profile. Back to this one. Okay, so within your profile, you'll need to enable something called creator mode. Okay, so this is my profile. I can click the little edit button here, but yeah, basically you've got a link that can appear below your profile in creator mode. And that's a really nice call to action. So for me, when I'm not live presenting, my header would appear here, and it says, join my LinkedIn lead gen masterclass. And that's where they can click on the link there to join the masterclass. So that's my call to action, which I've got clear in the header. Now, were you talking about the public profile page, creating the link? Or
speaking to Christian now, you said it's possible to, I think when you're using AI, to link in.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Give it that kind of tone of voice. I think you were hinting at, Alex.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go to ChatGPT, so I actually paid $20 or £16 for the plus version of ChatGPT. And it's very easy to then go to ChatGPT 4 and use plugins if they don't disappear on you. So you've got advanced data analysis, allows you to upload content to ChatGPT, or you can use plugins. And then within plugins, I've installed a couple of plugins. So Scrapey is a web scraper. So any website links that you put within ChatGPT, it'll actually scrape those links. So if you give us a website, Tony, have you got a company website I can test this on?
Yeah, sure. We are Masgroves, masgroves.com.
Masgroves.com. Please, can you summarize what this business does? So that goes off and looks at your company website now, and then hopefully will give me a little bit of a summary in terms of what you're about. And then obviously if I go back to my ChatGPT headline prompt for the of Masgroves, it's taking a bit of time, but the idea is it reads your website with this plugin, and then hopefully will give us a bit of a summary in terms of what it can work out what you're doing or what you're about. Something to do with communications, is that right?
Yeah, spot on, yeah.
Helping organizations improve internal comms.
I couldn't have put it any better myself.
Okay, so we're in the right. Offers it's a bit slow for me today, this range of services, strategy development, communication audits, and bespoke training, working with a variety of clients from small business, larger, approach is data driven, use insights to inform their strategies. Masgroves aims to create meaningful connections with organizations to drive positive change. So what we can do with that one then is basically strip out, I mean, we can give it a bit more information around the XYZ formula if we wanted to. But who's your ideal prospect?
A busy HR leader.
So that's a much thinner prompt in terms of generating the LinkedIn headlines, but yeah, that's just an example. Transforming internal communications, empowering HR leaders to boost employee engagement and drive business success. So you've got the what there. Let's just chuck that on the end to kind of as a bit of a extra bit because I've put it in at the top there. So that's how we would use to scrape a website to work out what people do to create a kind of compelling headline.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Just a quick question, if I can jump in, is that I've just got the standard AI, I think, chatbot. So will that allow me to do analysis of the website or not?
No, so you do need to get a paid subscription. So yeah, basically it unlocks GPT-4, which is the kind of the next generation of the system, and it works a bit faster. And then you can also choose the plugins. So you can use Google Sheets is a great one. If you ever do anything with spreadsheets, you can basically feed a spreadsheet to ChatGPT, and then it tells you, oh, this formula is not right. You need to put this in there, and it just basically helps you to create spreadsheets in a really efficient manner. So yeah, there's lots of. I mean, this stuff's growing. Recently they've just introduced image. So you can actually upload an image, and it'll read the image, tell you what the image is, and you can say, right, now turn this into a black and white image, and boom, in a second it's created a black and white image.
Okay. So is there a link you can share to how you upgrade or anything like that?
Yeah, just go to chat.openai.com, and then I think there's a little upgrade button at the bottom which you can just click. As I say, it's $20 a month if you're making use of it. I mean, for me, I'm using it kind of every day, so it's a no-brainer for me to use that. Going forward, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Just mindful, time seems to have run out. I haven't kind of allowed enough time on this session today, but if we could just go through the room, biggest takeaways from everyone, super helpful for me, and maybe we can do a bit more Q&A once we've done that. So Christian, you're at the top of the list first. Do you want to kick us off? What were your biggest bits of feedback?
Essentially, I think I have a really good way of changing my LinkedIn profile. I have about 1,600 connections already, and I want to grow that and keep growing it. And we are pretty good at marketing ourselves and our products and all the rest of it. So we do a lot of videos I would say we probably do 2 or 3 a week on new products and various other things that are going out. But I think it's improving my LinkedIn profile, and also it's a good call to action in terms of I know who my target audience is, and I need to spend some time growing that network. So and realizing that it is a numbers game.
It is, yeah. Thanks for the feedback. That's really good. Cheers, Christian.
Cool.
Julie, Julie's kind of smashed all this out of the park probably, but already, haven't you?
Well, no, it's good to have a reminder. Actually, I just went through and did my picture because it's like it's a little bit maybe too friendly, I think. Although it says show your teeth, and I'm like, my teeth are in this picture, like definitely. So it's not really picked that up quite, but that was really useful actually, just a little tool there. I tend to push against AI, but for the other stuff, but you know, I really need to get my backside in that. So it's a good reminder just to even just get some ideas on how your profile can look better. So that's been useful.
Thanks, Julie. Bridie?
Yeah, good. Definitely going to give that image analyzer a go. I've changed my LinkedIn image so many times. I've never felt like I've got it right, or it's too Instagram, or it's too, it's not right. So it'll be good. Can you upload a few and then get a feedback on a few at once? Yeah,
just change. So I think you can with the Snapper tool. You can upload a different photo and analyze it.
I'm a bit terrified of it at the same time, but I'm going to do it.
I mean, you got to take it with a pinch of salt. It's just anything you can do to try and improve that. Ultimately, you want to improve the number of people that are connecting with you. And that's the aim of the game here, is trying to get more connections that accept you, and those key things we've looked at today will hopefully help all that.
Definitely. And also adding in a call to action in the bio bit. I haven't done that. I've just, used keywords and SEO, and I looked at what my competition did and then kind of used that as a structure for mine.
Yeah.
But actually, competition, they're like the CEO of a huge company and they don't need a call to action. And so therefore then mine didn't, because I used their format, but I need a call to action. So that was really good prompt for me to add that back in.
Yeah. So for me, it's the masterclass. That's my kind of opportunity where I'm connecting with prospects, and, it's a weekly thing. That's what I want to drive all my traffic to. If I prefer the masterclass environment, then getting people to DM me. People do DM me, but it's just, I'm going to have to start a conversation, reply back to them. Whereas if they're coming into kind of my domain, it's just so much easier to build relationships there, I find. Tony, anything from yourself today?
I really like the XYZ, and I really like the top tip you had, Alex, where you say that we can kind of move it around. We can go Z, Y, X, or whatever, you can kind of have a play with it. But I think just generally what I find the best is those really nice little actionable tips that you share, stuff that we can just go and do. We all come away with 2 or 3 things that we can just go and do from this. It's a very wise investment of time. So thank you as ever for your sharing. It makes such a difference.
No, you're welcome. So next week we'll move on to stage 3, which is looking at more of the technical approach in terms of automating your connection requests. So that's, again, how we can be automatically connecting to big numbers of people, as much automation as possible, really, but still sounding personal. So that's an exciting session. So I hope you guys can make that. If you can't, all these are being recorded. Head over to school.com/leadeth or leadeth.io/school. That will take you to the community where you can catch up. I think most of you probably are in there already, aren't you? So if anyone wants a one-to-one session with myself, I think I've got limited availability next week. I might have a couple of gaps in the calendar, but I'll pop a link in the chat. If anyone feels they want to learn more or just have a chat around strategy, you won't need to bring a credit card with you or anything like that. It's purely just a chat. So leadeth.io/strategies. There you go. I've popped.
What was the school thing again? Because I'm not on it. I should.
The school community. So I'll pop that in the chat for you. Leadeth.io /school SKOOL, and that will take you to my school community where you can join in the conversation. From time to time I put updates on what's going on with LinkedIn, things that I found out. 2 weeks ago, we realized that connection requests, they've changed it from 300 characters down to 200. And that caused a bit of a problem for a lot of automated campaigns. So it's just keeping people up to date and creating a bit of a lead gen community there. So if you've got some strategies that are working really well for you, great if you could share them in the community. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And hope to see you all next week.
Yeah. Brilliant, Alex. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Christian, could I just take your surname by any chance? Because it will mean I can send you the right emails and then the wrong Christian.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so Christian, M-E-R-E.
Yeah.
The Mirror Field.
Okay, I'll try and find you in my CRM, because it means you get the right follow-up emails, because I can only see your name, and I don't think Zoom gives me your email address or anything like that. So
right.
just means I can see if you're in the. Do you get any of the email reminders and stuff, or?
Well, let's just. I'll put it in the chat here for you. So it's Christian. Where are we?